Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 9.3A. I've entitled this video, People and Places of the Tropical North. This video is going to cover pages 286 to 288. People and Places. People of European, African, Native American, and mixed descent are the major population groups of the countries that border the Pacific and Caribbean coast. African, South Asian, and ethnically mixed peoples form the majority in the Atlantic coast countries. Population groups. Ecuador has the tropical North's greatest indigenous population. About 1 in 4 Ecuadorians is Native American. If mestizos, or people of white and Native American descent, are added, the ratio becomes 9 out of every 10 Ecuadorians. Question number 1. What does the word mestizo mean? That is a person of white and Native American descent. Venezuela and Colombia have the opposite distribution. Some 20% of their populations are white, and 1 to 2% are Native American. Colombia's native population is the lowest of any Andean country. Mestizos are the largest group, accounting for more than 2/3 of Colombians and Venezuelans. The African populations of Venezuela, Ecuador, and Colombia are small, although some 15% of Colombians have mixed African and European ancestry. The descendants of contract laborers from India are Suriname's largest group, making up nearly 40% of the population. An equal number are people of mixed African descent. A large Indonesian population is also present. White and Native Americans total less than 5% of Suriname's population. Neighboring Guyana is home to more Native Americans. This group makes up almost 10% of the country's population. Ethnic Africans make up 1/3 of the population, and East Indians account for more than 40%. The country has no significant white population. About 1 in 6 Guineans is of mixed ancestry. People of mixed descent make up most of French Guiana's population. Small groups of French, Native Americans, Chinese, East Indians, Laotians, Vietnamese, Lebanese, Haitians, and Africans also live in French Guiana. Where people live. Guyana's population remains largely rural. Elsewhere in the tropical north, most people live in cities. Bogota, pictured here, Colombia's capital, on a high Andes plateau, is home to almost 5 million people. It is the North's largest city and the 5th largest in South America. Colombia's Caribbean lowlands are home to about 20% of its people, mainly in Cartagena and other port cities along the coast. The country's Pacific coast is sparsely settled. Most of the people there are descendants of enslaved Africans who worked on plantations near the Caribbean Sea. As they were freed or they escaped, they migrated into remote areas in western Colombia. The Llanos, where cattle ranching is the main activity, is another area with few people. Question number 2. What are some reasons why Bogota is one of the most important cities in the tropical north? Well, it is the capital of Colombia, and it is the 5th largest city in the north, and the North's largest city, and it's got almost 5 million people. As of writing this book, it said almost 5 million people. I'm sure it's over 5 million by the time of this recording. Quito, Ecuador, is another mountain capital city, pictured here. What a lovely view that is. With nearly 2 million people. Most of Ecuador's Native Americans live in or around Quito, or they farm rural mountain valleys nearby. Most other Ecuadorians live along the coast. Guayaquil, pictured here, also a beautiful looking city, the country's largest city and major port, is located there. Question 3. What are the 2 most important cities in Ecuador? Well, you have Quito and Guayaquil. Most Venezuelans live along the coast. As in Colombia and Ecuador, Venezuelans began migrating to cities in the mid-1900s for the jobs and opportunities they offered. Today, more than 90% of the country's people live in Caracas, the capital city of 3 million, and other cities on or near the coast. Question 4. What does the word migrating mean? It means to move to a different location. Question 5. Where do a vast majority of Venezuelans live? Well, look at this map. Wow, 97% of the people of Venezuela live right here by the coast, and only 3% of the rest of the country lives in this part. Question number 6. What is the capital and most important city in Venezuela? Caracas, pictured here, and what another beautiful picture of Caracas. The countries of Guyana, Suriname, and the territory of French Guiana are sparsely populated. The populations of the three combined total almost half the population of Caracas. The interior of French Guiana have few roads and is largely uninhabited. And you can see the population density of Guyana here. You can see these darker colors are where most of the people are, and these greener colors, I'm colorblind, but I think these are greener colors. You don't see a lot of people per square mile. In Suriname, small groups of Native Americans live in the Guyana highlands. Nearby, everybody else lives along the coast. Suriname's capital, Paramaribo, a city of 260,000, is home to more than half the country's population. And you can see that once again. Not a lot of people live here. Everyone lives pretty much along the coast. Most Guyanese also live on the coast, mainly in small farm towns. Each town's farmlands extend inland for several miles. The country's interior is home to a few groups of Native Americans and scattered mining and ranching settlements. And as you can see on that map as well, by far the more densely populated people areas are the ones by the coast. Not many people living in this interior. Question 7. Where do most people in Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana live? They live along the coast. Well, that's all I have for you today. I don't really have a meme today, but I did find this interesting. The most common first name by country in South America. So take a look at the different names. You can see Maria and Jose are very common names, as is Juan in South America. Well, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.